Live from Vanderbilt Hall at Grand Central Terminal in the heart of the Big Apple, New York, New York, United States of America. Welcome to the 2011 Teen Masters. Unbelievable bowling venue has been set up here at Vanderbilt Hall, and we have one high school champion that has already made the Ebonite $64,000 full ride scholarship challenge. Next, we have the boys high school division championship. Hello again, everybody. Mike J. Laneside, alongside the bowling doctor, Jeff Mark, who is sitting in the most important chair in all of bowling.
It's because it's mine, Mike J.
Also joining us on the big show today, 16-time PBA Tour titleist Jason Couch.
Hello, Mike.
Say hello again.
That would be hello, Michael.
Jason, we've got a matchup. Number 5 seed, our defending boys high school champion, Zack Hattori, takes on the number 6 seed, Tommy Genova.
I like the matchup. I believe that we did go with the long pattern by Zach choosing, which makes a lot of sense because Tommy snuck by last night in that roll-off and seemed like he struggled on the long pattern last night. So I think that was a great move on Zach's part. Zach feels great on the long pattern, so if I'm going to pick him as an early favorite for sure.
Well, welcome to the Teen Masters pregame show. The players are in their 15-minute warm-up period, and joining us to help us explain the lane pattern, conditioning, and the actual bowling balls themselves, we've got the professor from Hopkinsville. With the PhD in Bowling Ball 101, it's Ron Hickland, and he's got a brand new tool called the Blueprint. Hello, Ron.
How you doing there, Mike J?
Fabulous. Always good to hear your smiling voice.
Good, man. Good. Hey, I tell you what, we got a new program. It's called Powerhouse Blueprint. You can go to powerhousebowling.com/blueprint, and you can actually download a copy of it. What I'll do here is I'll actually show you some of the things that we have done so far this week in using that program. This right here is Zack Hattori's span. We've got his positive axis point. We've got his pitches. We've got everything about his bowling ball. We've got a lot of information also about his delivery, where he wants to play the lane, his ball speed, his rev rate, a lot of information. What we do with all that information then is come over to the next screen and we can actually drill a bowling ball. These guys only had 2 bowling balls this week. They had the Mission 2.0 and they had the hard ball. And we actually got their information in terms of how that ball was laid out. We plugged it into the computer just to kind of see exactly how it looks. This is not something that you typically are able to do, Mike. I mean, you can actually see what the core is in the ball, how it's sitting in there. We have the ability to show you some of the inertial planes on the bowling ball, and we can actually modify them by putting away holes in balls or taking holes out. But for our illustration here, we're just trying to show you exactly what he's going to be using. From an environment standpoint, they're bowling on a SPL lane surface, which we have the ability to select that. They're bowling on a short pattern, which we actually have the Teen Masters pattern, or long pattern, I apologize. They actually have that pattern in the simulator software, and you can kind of see here, there's a lot of oil out there, Jay. What do you think, man?
Oh, without question, with the longer pattern, there's more volume. I mean, the lefties are going to play 15 to about 9-10. The righties are certainly going to be a little further right than that, a little more build-up. The hook a little more to the right, so I would say that the right, Tommy Genova's going to want to, he's really going to want to be right around, I would say, 8, 9, 10. He's a more direct player, end-over-end roll.
Makes a lot of sense, absolutely. The other thing we can do, like I said, we can simulate a shot. So in this case, what I've done is I've actually simulated a shot as to where you'd kind of want to play if you were Zach to get this ball to the pocket. One of the cool things that you can do with the program as well is you have the ability to change the surface. You can change the surface to anything from a 500 grit dull to a 4,000 grit polished ball. If you were bowling on a different surface, you could change that. You also have the ability to see some additional plots, some of those like the ball track as an example. This is really pretty cool. You can see not only the oil rings, which is the dark solid line, but you also can see the dry track flare. This is the flare that you typically don't see on your bowling ball because it's rolling on a dry part of the lane, but the simulator program can actually show you that as well. One of the beautiful things about this program is you can drill the ball. You can actually drill the bowling ball, place a weight hole in it, and see if the ball is going to roll over it. That's always a big thing for pro shops. You drill a bowling ball for a customer, and if they're in this area here with the hole and they hit it, obviously that's going to be a problem. So you have the ability to test that out beforehand. So that's one of the really neat features of the product itself.
Thanks, Ron, and let's see what other toys you got while we take a look at our defending champion, Zack Hattori from Las Vegas. In addition to the boys and girls champions, advancing to the $64,000 Ebonite Scholarship match coming up next, live on Extra Frame. Each of the players, the boys and girls champions, will be given an entry to the PBA World Series of Bowling, and Zach got to do it last year at South Point in Las Vegas.
That he did, Mike J., and he was actually pretty competitive on a few of the patterns there. Every year I see Zach, he keeps getting a little better.
And there's a look at Tommy Genova. Bowling Doctor, what are we looking at in terms of styles among Hattori and Genova?
Hattori is extremely versatile. He can bring it from many, many different areas. I'm not as familiar with Genova, but he is from New York City, which means he's comfortable with them hooking. And I don't know if if he's able to slow hook it, but I think these two are pretty evenly matched.
As you can tell, we've got the manual pin setters in play, and they only set up the front three for the warm-up session. As Hattori moves on, and Ron Hickland, I see a new graph up there. What else do we have as a part of this blueprint that helps us analyze the action?
Yeah, you actually have the ability to do a random multi-shot simulation. What that is it basically looks, it takes a certain number of shots. In this case, we did 14 shots, and it kind of gives you some interesting totals based on the player's ability. Obviously, these guys are really good players. They're bowling on a tough pattern, though. So, Jason, when you're talking about, a house pattern versus a tougher pattern or a sport pattern or even the Team Masters pattern, what do you see in terms of like the bowler's ability to make adjustments and those kind of things?
Well, I can tell you this right here, Ronnie, that these two numbers will be changed. Percentage of total pocket shots would be around 71%, where the non-pocket shots would be right around 28% on a house shot. When they're on the tougher condition like this, I can definitely see those numbers because it's been very, very hard to stay in the pocket for 2 straight games.
That's exactly what we're seeing. I mean, it's amazing how many games you watch where somebody completely dominates, and then here we go, turn right around and bowl game 2, and all of a sudden, it's 180 opposite, it's flip-flop. Part of that, too, is the fact that they're only bowling on one lane. Typically, so they're basically, the lanes are getting twice as much play. The lane's getting twice as much play on it than it normally would get, so the transition's going to happen a lot faster, and it's going to require you to be tough on your feet there, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, sir.
Jeff, Mark wanted your analysis on this point. We've been getting some feedback on Facebook and social networking, and it disappoints me that folks can't see the bigger picture. We're in this unbelievable environment in the Big Apple, New York City, and a couple of folks are going to point out that they don't like this competition because there's manual pin setters in one lane.
Yeah, well, there's always going to be somebody that's got something negative to say. No matter what you do. There's people that hated Mother Teresa, so,
That's why he's the bowling doctor as we get a look at this unbelievable venue here at Vanderbilt Hall. And national media paying attention as MSNBC ran some video earlier that caused the family to come and attend, and pictures in the Wall Street Journal and other publications. And we are very excited to be here. Ron Hickland, final thoughts as we get closer to this boys championship match.
Well, I tell you what, I'm really excited to watch these two guys go head-to-head. I mean, obviously, the gentleman that was the former champion getting an opportunity to bowl again for the title, and then have another opportunity to bowl for $64,000 is going to be quite interesting to watch. So I'm definitely excited, and I'm ready to watch, man.
Sounds good. And that Powerhouse Blueprint program, where can we get our hands on that?
You can go to powerhousebowling.com, and then there's a blueprint icon. Just go ahead and click on the icon, download the one ball version of the program, and play away. I mean, it's really straightforward. It's easy to use. If you've got any questions, there's an easy help line there. We field those calls and questions and get people going the right direction. And if you're interested in buying it, it's $4.99.
Sounds good. That's the Professor, Ron Hickland, and we'll see you back here for the overall big scholarship match.
I'll tell you what, I will send you my address so you know where to send one to me, because I wouldn't leave my house for about 3 days if I had one of those.
It's in the mail, brother. It's in the mail. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ron. Great job.
That's Ron Hickland.
That is one impressive piece of equipment there, Mike J.
Absolutely. To be able to virtually drill a bowling ball and to see how it plays out on a variety of lane conditions.
I might still be ball repping if I had that back then.
Oh, let's not get silly.
Probably not, but I could definitely see your cash ratio going up.
I'm looking forward to getting Ronnie out there in person, utilizing the guy that's doing the blueprint and drilling a few balls for the World Series.
Can it talk you down off the ledge after you know?
Gentlemen, the match at hand is Zack Hattori versus Tommy Genova. In college athletics, you can put a sawbuck on a college football game, and odds makers always go through the entire list of games. I got to imagine if this were on the board in Vegas that Hattori would be installed as a favorite. How do we assess this match, and what are the opportunities for Genova here?
Well, I think that Tommy needs to get out early in the match because Zach's going to get better as the lane starts to break down more. It plays more in the favor of his game. Tommy's a hometown boy. He's from the New York area, so you got to imagine that the crowd's going to be on his side, and he should take advantage of that crowd too. Maybe get a little emotional, get himself pumped up.
And bowling doctor Zack Attack, the runaway train here at Grand Central Terminal. Can anybody stop the big man?
No one has yet, so I guess we will see. He's got his hands full, though. This kid can play.
So a berth in the PBA World Series of Bowling on the line, a shot at the $64,000 Ebonite Scholarship on the line, and finally, the winner of this match will be the 2011 High School Division Boys Team Masters Champion. Best of 2 games. Yep, you heard me right. Best of 2 games. If we tie after 2, we will have a sudden death roll-off for the title.
Are you sure, Mike?
I am positive.
Yep. Sudden death.
Sudden death. Kirk Von Kruger, tournament director. And you can hear the hometown roar for Tommy Genova.
You know we were going to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
If they weren't here last night, they're here today.
Kirk let us know that that Tommy will be starting the match.
And it's going to be the Zack Attack going up against the hometown favorite, Tommy Genova. Best of 2 game match, and the higher seed, Zack Hattori, has elected that Tommy Genova will begin the matchup. Got a couple of practice shots remaining. Taking a look at yesterday's action in the semifinals that we saw here live on Extra Frame.
Tell you what, Mike J, while we're doing that, let's take a look at this place here, this facility, as we got a live shot of Grand Central Terminal.
That is just to our right in the main terminal area here at Grand Central, the largest train station in the world. Right in the middle, smack dab, Midtown Manhattan, 42nd Street.
Extra Frame gets all the shots.
Where are we going after this, Doc? You want to go to the island? You want to go to Connecticut?
I don't know where I'm going right now. I think I'm going to go get some sleep because I'm exhausted.
Action yesterday saw Zack Hattori defeat Ryan Ventillo. And in a match that we're still talking about, Tommy Genova, survivor in that match with A.J. Johnson. It went 1-1. And Genova started the roll-up with an 8 count, and Johnson came up short with a split and a 7 count, and Genova survives to bowl the championship match. So here we are, 42nd Street, Midtown Manhattan, Grand Central Terminal, live around the world on Extra Frame, the official video streaming service of the Professional Bowlers Association. And we are very proud to team up with Killer Bee Promotions, Gary Beck, and his hardworking staff to present this boys high school championship final. Sit back, relax, grab a frosty cold beverage and your favorite bag of salted snacks. It's Mike J. Laneside alongside the bowling doctor Jeff Mark, who's always got the front 5, and 16-time PBA Tour champ Jason Couch. Kirk is setting them off, and Jason, we're ready for action. 2-game match, Genova to get things started.
If it's anything like normal, Michael, there will be 2 games and then sudden death roll off.
Yes, indeed. We're on the long pattern. Part of the rules of this event was the players had only 2 choices of strike balls, the Mission 2.0 and the Ebonite Hardball, and the Mission 2.0 has been seen regularly on this long 42-foot kegel oil. Here we go, opening shot, championship match, boys high school division.
2-pin, little light.
Not a bad opening shot. Keep it in play. Avoid trouble. Give yourself something you can make here and have a seat. Alternating shots on the 1-lane setup here at Vanderbilt Hall. We weren't kidding. Just over Tommy's head. You can see the sign. 42nd Street is right out there. On the board, spare for Genova. And we are underway here as we look at the crowd assembled. They have been 6 and 8 deep all day. Bowling fans and passersby stopping by to check out the action here. And here is your defending champion. Boys high school division bowled the World Series last year.
I assumed all these people were here, Michael, to see the bowling doctor.
He did have a line earlier, handing out advice, signing autographs.
I thought they were all here for the couch autograph session.
They bypassed that line straight to you, Doc.
So now here he is, defending champ Zack Hattori, number 5 seed overall. Opening shot here. Crosses over. Manual pin setters, manual ball returns here on the 1-lane installation. Tucked into Vanderbilt Hall. Named for the Vanderbilts who built the original Grand Central Depot back in the 19th century, right in the middle of Manhattan. On the way here, Doc, I walked by the United Nations on the way to work just to take a different path. Spare piece. Hattori versus Genova. Doc, put on the stethoscope and let's get an analysis of the bowling style, stance, and game of one Tommy Genova.
All right, we will take him to the foul line here. You're going to see he's got a really good setup. He's a tall kid. Long arm. Get that elbow in front of his hip. Got the weight in that left hand. He's going to get a long swing, head high, and right through it.
And split early, 4-6-7.
Of course, the old Dr. Jinx pops up.
Got to get it in there.
Get it out of the way.
Little left with his hand on his follow through. It's probably one of the most critical things that no one worries about is where their follow through is after they throw the ball.
So Genova takes the wood, 26 open through 2. And bowling doctor look at our defending champion now, Zack Hattori. 136 pounds dripping wet.
On a rainy day. I would say that Tommy Genova has more of the classic style of bowling, and Zack is more of the 2000s model of our bowling today with the different environment and the massive reactive resin balls.
Definitely like the area where he's at. You know, you see he's playing much more of the pattern, letting the ball just see it. And it's going to be a lot easier for him to get that thing into the pocket.
As long as he gets it to the spot. We've seen that with almost all of the kids this week, is that they have a tough time getting it to the spot.
He is the one guy that will do that. I doubt you're going to see him play through the face the whole match.
3-6-10, not an easy spare.
Shoots the backup ball at it. Nice cover for Zack Hattori, clean through 2. Doc, during the practice session, did you detect any shenanigans out there, or was it just warming up and lining up?
Warming up. I didn't see anything going on.
Just every once in a while, some folks will throw a dull ball or a plastic ball in order to create or set up a shot. Genova up now in the 3rd, spare open.
It's got to go.
It is rush hour here in New York City, so the volume of the traffic is picking up as people are walking through here.
5:15 local time here in New York City. Spare for Genova.
There's a good shot of everybody past our booth. Passers-by, people in the crowd. Nice shot, Eddie.
From the right, they're from the station and out to 42nd Street. Pick up your bus and taxi. Just a 5-minute walk down to Times Square from here. Zack Hattori, your defending champion, is clean through 2. Best of 2-game match to decide the boys high school champion. He did it last year at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. And now we are in New York at the terminal. 3rd frame. There's our first strike of this match.
Chased it in a couple of boards with his feet, kept his eyes the same, creating a little more angle through the front at home. You'd see that if you got a great angle, and it just, I mean, it was perfect off his hand.
See, Calderon says, stay through it, stay through. He's like, come on, it's one shot.
It's Mike Calderon from Ebonite, sponsors of this great event.
Otherwise known as Mr. Ebonite.
Mr. Ebonite, indeed. I also saw Brenda Green earlier, the marketing manager. Always good to see BG in the house. Tommy Genova versus Zack Hattori, live on Extra Frame, the official video streaming service of the PBA, teaming up with Killer Bee Promotions to bring you this great bowling event, Boys High School Championship on the line. Immediately following will be the Ebonite Scholarship Challenge for $64,000 full ride scholarship. 4th frame for Genova. Crossover, gets a strike. Looking to get this crowd behind him because they are plenty and they are loud. First chance now at a double, and it belongs in the hands of this man, Zack Hattori. 37 through 2 strike up. Leads by 9, can extend it to 19. And 7-10 last to fall, but fall they do.
Great shot. Nice and smooth, letting the ball work, not overthrowing it. In the shim, letting it see the frick.
A little different from yesterday as Hattori struggled out of the box. A little different story today.
Yep, a little bit different. I said if there's anything you're going to see suspect with him, it's going to be spare shooting.
Genova working the strike. Can't get the double across. Shakes the 6.
Tommy looked a lot more patient yesterday. Today it looks like he's kind of rushing it a little bit when he's take a deep breath.
A little amped up with the hometown crowd in attendance.
Jay, how hard is it when you get in this situation? Just say, I own the stage, and I'm going to take my time and do what I want to do.
You know, it's very difficult, especially for the younger kids, you know, always remembering that this is a new experience for them. But, you know, even on tour, my first show, I won't even mention the year because it was a long time ago, but my first show, you know, I felt like it was 2 minutes. It was over.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just being patient and working on
things. It goes
100
miles an hour. And right now, that's what's happening to these guys right now. Everything is going so fast, but the best of them can take it and slow it down, and it's like it's in slow motion.
So Hattori's up now. Spare, double, working the 5th frame. The 18-year-old out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Perfect game to his resume and a high set of 837. Oh, sweet turkey.
I think you're seeing some experience here, boys.
Exactly. I tell you, I worked with him a few times, and he's a really, really smart kid and really gets it.
Very personable, too. He's got an easy manner and a quick smile.
Ball change for Tommy Genova.
Only 2 allowed. That means this is the Ebonite hardball.
And you better not miss right with this one, because it won't get back.
And strike in the pocket for Genova.
Better shot.
That's a great shot, but, you know, he misses it all right with that ball, Doc. It's going to be washout city.
It's goodbye.
So here comes Zack Hattori. If he wins the big scholarship, he's thinking of attending Marion University or McKendree University. He wants to be a doctor or an engineer.
He needs to come down and go to Gainesville and be a Florida Gator. Help the bowling program out.
On a turkey, 6th frame. Oh, ring 10 definition. Wow.
Great shot.
Uncensored.
Ring, 10 pin. the backup at it, but missed. So as Doc said, spare shooting could be the only chink in the armor, and shows itself there. 124 open through 6 for Zack Hattori. And Tommy Genova trails by 18, but he's got a strike up. That means he can cut it to single pins. The deficit with a strike. Genova working in the 7th. Hits it high, but carries.
The local crowd is coming alive.
And a beautiful noise rings through Vanderbilt Hall. There's your score. 8 pins now is the deficit for Genova. Hattori after the open frame.
The ambulance outside going by.
New York's
we need
finest.
the cabs start honking.
Nope, that skates away.
That's bad footwork.
Take your time here, son. Regroup.
That's how important your base is. Your base is off. Swing plane changes, everything changes.
Spare conversion for Zack Hattori. And now Tommy Genova can step up here in the 8th frame and take a lead.
Big opportunity. You're going to hear this crowd go crazy.
First shot with that hard ball was in the pocket. He kind of jammed that second one home, high flush. Let's see what he's got here. Double working to take the lead. Yeah, all but the 10, and man, that's a precarious ball. He's trying to fit it in there, and boy, there's no margin for error.
If that one would have held, I would have called it the Mike J. Shim.
I've thrown
and
that.
That's a mile deep.
The unfortunate nature is that I've thrown that shot. But when you're in a match like this, you've got to find something that works and make it work.
You know, that's what's kept Tommy in these matches for the entire week, really. It's been his spare shooting. He's just hung in there and made his spares and kind of kept himself out of trouble.
Hattori up in the 8th, working on the spare, 124 through 6. And to me, that's just a more confident line, and there's a little room for error on the inside and on the outside.
If you have your angles right to the front of the lane, you can actually look like you have hold down lane on the longer patterns. Zach, all he did is just went out, took a deep breath, and just got himself back in focus. You know, the footwork was perfect that time.
So we enter the 9th frame. 9th and 10th is where most hay is made in the sport of bowling. Genova trails by 9. He can shoot .215 if he strikes out.
And that throwing the weaker ball, Doc, that's what bothers me, is the fact that he knows he can't miss right, so all the shots he's going to try and steer.
Shim.
Yeah.
So Jason Couch, as the players like to say, ball in hand here, strike up, chance for Hattori to take control here in game 1.
Guarantee you he's going to tear the cover off of this ball. He's going to get this ball there somehow.
This ball hits the pocket. It's just whether it's going to carry. Watch the 10 pin because that's probably all he'll leave. No doubt this ball will be either flush or slightly light, but I doubt it goes high.
Flush, and that's why we call him the bowling doctor. He's often 3 minutes ahead of the world. Zack Hattori with a monstrous double to take a 19-pin lead into the 10th frame. So 204 is the best Genova can do if he punches. Zack already in the 2 teens, so Genova needs to, he's got a double here to put any kind of pressure on Hattori. Yeah, that's just going to be a tough line. Any chance he's throwing that ball to set him up in game 2?
No. He's afraid to throw the other one because it's hooking too early. And now he's pigeonholed into the other one, and it's going too straight. And he can't throw it to the right. And it's obviously he's not comfortable enough to get in and hook it. That's a spin.
Houdini, brother, Houdini.
And the thing is Hattori's left of him, so his move left is going to be gigantic if he has to go to that other ball. And I don't think he wants to chase where Hattori is, but the way to beat Hattori is to get on top of him and make Hattori move left and make him see transition. And it is the only way this kid has a chance to beat him. If he continues to stay to the right and pipe it, he has about a 20% chance, and that's only if Hattori helps him. But if he doesn't chase him left with the other ball, I think he has 0. And that's just match play 101. Leapfrog him, as we saw last time with the Cameron Doyle match against Hattori last year.
So 190 for Genova. Zack can stay out of major trouble here. He'll take game 1. Double up, 144 through 7 for Zack Hattori. Looking to take game 1, best of 2 game match. 2-game sweep, we have a champion. 1-1, we put a roll off. Here's Hattori in the 10th. And that's the best kind of mark. Double tap on the 10. Zack Hattori, your winner in game 1.
And now he gets 2 more shots to
info time.
Yes.
And
you know what? If I was Genova right now, I would be standing on the approach behind him watching his ball track, because he is drawing you a roadmap of where to play this lane, bro, and you're not watching it.
Here comes the hard ball.
Oh, he's not even going to give him the opportunity. Here, you want to watch something? Watch this. Let's see if I want to go play hard and straight.
No, actually, I think he's going to get in the same spot.
Think so?
Yeah. Yeah, but I would stay with the other one still.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not too early, not just yet.
I mean, he's good enough to tilt it and trick it through the front and get his hand to go around it and slow it down. That's probably the thing now is especially you see most of the kids when they had to move with the one ball, when they lined in and lost it, you don't realize that when you give your angle away, it's not only a speed move, it's a tilt move, and it's an angle change. There's like 3 or 4 things that are going on. It's just not move your feet left and maintain the same speed and do the same thing, because it's not going to read it right.
Years of experience, bowling doctor.
Right after this shot, we're going to go out of the lanes with Jackie Bowling. Zack just tossing the strike ball there, so 220 for Zack Hattori. Time now to go down lane side for a powerhouse update with Jackie Bowling. Go, Jackie.
Hey, Zack, you have 1 down, 1 to go. What is your strategy to stay calm and get through this next match?
Basically what just you said, try not to think about much and just go up there and make good shots, and hopefully everything goes my way.
10th frame, you're testing the waters. Yeah, any game plan for next play?
Maybe a ball change, we'll see. I just want to see what my limitations are, and they're not that bad, so we'll see what happens.
All right, well, best of luck to you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Jackie Bowling with defending champ Zack Hattori, 1 game away from repeating here at the 2011 Teen Masters. Did he give us an insight, bowling doctor?
He says he's doing work, he's thinking, he's worrying about where it's going, and he's comfortable where it's at, and we will be seeing the 2.0. He was just testing it, see, he's comfortable. He thinks he knows what he's got. He likes what he's got. He was just feeling it out, and he's looking to see how fast it's going to go till he gets into a ball change, and he doesn't think it's anytime soon.
Well, Genova sticking with the Ebonite hardball as we begin game 2. His support network trying to get him going.
In this format, it doesn't matter if you lose by 20 or 100. It really does not matter one bit. It's just one game. You win the next one, and you get to throw one ball to win the championship.
Bucket for Tommy Genova. That ball not getting through the same way that the Mission 2.0 does. Ron Hicklin with us earlier showing us the difference on the Ebonite.
Tough spare right here for him, and he's throwing his plastic ball at it. You have no idea how perfect that shot had to be to make that spare.
A la Norm Duke.
I mean, there is literally no room for error to get that back pin with a plastic ball.
Either way. You miss either way with that plastic ball. You're not
you can't miss it by half an inch, and you cannot hit that back pin because those plastic balls do not drive through the front pin to the back pin because they're harder and they make less friction. That's why you usually throw a strike ball at double wood. That was perfection.
Speaking of Norm Duke, Zack Hattori's favorite bowler is Norm Duke. Here he is, member of Team USA in 2011 and defending Team Masters champion in the boys high school division.
Team Claremont guy.
It's got to go.
That's all right.
Double wood for Hattori.
That's the place to be, though. Like I said, you watched everybody so far play through the face. This is the only kid that's not playing through the face, other than Wesley.
Right.
Wesley, a little more wild. He had some wild shots, but he did not play through the face either. But big difference. Getting in the shim, letting the ball roll, let it see the lane, and let it work. And you're better off being light and leave makeable spares.
Hattori up 1-0. 220-190 winner in game 1. Looking to sweep and repeat. Catches them both on the outside.
You get a really good look at how soft his hand was there, how easy he was just letting that ball roll and let it see it. Mr. Ebonite got the pom-poms out. He ain't got much work to do there. Let's get the pom-poms out and pump them up.
So Genova down a game, needs this to force the roll-off for the title.
Better shot.
Another bucket combo, 2-4-5 this time.
I just think, Bowling Doctor, if he could throw the 2.0 right where he's at and just not cut it short, I think that would be the ball.
I think so. I think he's got to be about 5 left of where he's at with the 2.0, throwing it into that zone. But I don't think he can keep that angle with the 2.0, even if he does follow through. I still think that ball goes face.
Oh, now an open.
But it's also I've only seen him bowl this tournament, so I don't know his limitations as to what.
Correct.
I know Zach very well, so I know what he can do, but I don't know if Tommy's capable of getting in and tilting a little bit more. And what we mean by tilt is to get your axis higher, and it makes it like a Pete Weber. Pete Weber's an extreme, but you always talk extremes in an explanation. Basically, you want to spin a little more so it goes through the front, and then the ball will recover harder when that axis drops and tilts to the pins. But you have to throw it a little slower so it has time to pick up and make that more of a severe angle. Whether he can do that, I don't know.
Hattori now with a split, and things get interesting.
That's a bad shot.
Bowling Dr. Howard Guth, a fan of the PBA on Facebook, watching our live coverage today. Is it important to have your elbow in front of your hip when you start your approach?
For me, it is. It keeps your swing long. I think it's less hinge of the elbow into the swing, and it keeps your swing longer. You want less hinge, less moving parts means more consistency. You tend to, when you keep your elbow back next to your hip or behind your hip, which would mean the ball would be into your hip, your tendency is to drop it straight down and drop it right into your swing. And a swing needs to be more of a pendulum, and you got to get it out in front of you and drop it in to get momentum, especially if you're going to have a big swing. You're trying to get the ball over to your head. Otherwise, you got to yank it up and yank it down. And you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Both players at 17-26 through 2. And third straight bucket combo for Tommy Genova.
Well, that swing works really good when there's some friction right at your target.
We are on the 42-foot long Kegel oil pattern at the direction of the low seed, Zack Hattori. He was ranked number 5, Genova ranked 6, so Zack gets to choose the pattern. He chose the 42-foot long pattern. Genova picks up the spare. So even here in game 2. Zack up 1-0 in the match.
Scoreboard's back. Scoreboard took a break for a couple minutes. Decided it needed a little bit of a rest. Now it is back in action.
And the rush hour crowd continues to pour in off the street and through the terminal here in this exciting Vanderbilt Hall custom bowling installation for this 2011 Teen Masters. Third frame, Hattori. Third frame. Oh, 7-10 split.
And on a pretty good shot, too. Good comeback after the last one. You got it up and in and cut it short. Came through it good, got it to the pocket, and full penalty right there. See if he a little bounce and give everybody a little show here. Just throw it hard to straight and hit one of them.
Got halfway there.
Yep, a little bounce.
35 open through 3 for Hattori, and now a wide open revolving door swinging in the direction of Tommy Genova.
And we got a ball change.
He actually threw it last frame.
Didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Nice for you to pick up on it.
I'm on top of you.
You see it, you don't say nothing. Good announcing.
Better shot.
Oh my, here comes Tommy Genova.
Watch out.
And now he's going to get the crowd behind him. Uncle Mo just came knocking on the door.
Absolutely, sir. And there would be another ball change.
Really?
This is really interesting as Genova goes to the Mission 2.0, and now Hattori has gone to the Ebonite hardball.
And do we see a speed change with this too or not?
I think he's got to keep his speed up.
He's got a pipe. I'm thinking it might be harder. He might just try to keep it more online and cut the angle. You don't think so?
Doesn't look like it from where his feet are.
No. Same deal.
Comes up high. Very, very interesting, as each player has now started with a ball and gone to the opposite ball. Only 2 allowed here.
That layout in that ball is a little strong, a little more up and down. Just tends to, if it gets down there and you're a little slow with it, it's going to want to tip. If it sees it, and he's got some surface on it, which is going to make it want to tip and go. That's why I thought he might want to throw some speed on it, just so it takes some of that whip out of it. We got to look at that, Jay?
Not yet.
Right.
I'm trying to work on it.
Hey, come on. Whenever you're ready, it's no big deal.
Spare for Hattori. Genova now leads by 11. He needs this game to force a roll-off for the boys' high school championship. He made a ball change. He just smacked the pocket in the 4th. And now we will hear something that Vanderbilt Hall rarely hears if we get a strike from Genova in frame number 5. Bucket combo again. But on the right side of the head pin.
Yep.
That's the slot where Doc likes to be.
Yep, same roll, same deal, same thing. Just that ball is rolling in a little different spot than his hard ball is.
Oh, no.
There you go, Doc. You got the hard ball for Zack Hattori. Has a 4.5-inch pin, 50 by 40 degree layout. You know, that ball is, that ball's going to go sideways on the back at the end of the pattern.
That's what I said with that layout. It's going to it's going to force it to go sideways. And that's why I thought that if he got a little too slow with it, that's why I thought he'd jack his speed a little bit to take some of that whip out of it.
Either that or move further right.
Yep.
I'm sorry, left with
Left.
his feet.
Yeah.
So
It's
sitting
one or the other.
Sitting on the bench, Hattori just picked up a 1-pin lead, working on a spare 5th frame.
Thanks to that blueprint software, too. That's awesome. We can just look right at that layout. That's what he did.
That was close, and he's chasing a couple more.
Yep. Yeah, he's very close with it, though.
Gentlemen, with a spare, we will have evenness in game 2.
Evenness. Like Jay, making up words. Evenness.
It's his planet, son. We're just living on it.
That's it. You should be comfortable with that. We know about that.
Well, if Stephen Colbert down the street can invent truthiness and sell a book on it, maybe I can do something with evenness.
Exactly.
Here's Hattori on the single pin. Even game 2. Genova needs to win to force a roll-off for the title and a berth in the $64,000 Ebonite Scholarship match coming up next, live on Extra Frame. Our girls champion is waiting in the wings. She is Rachel Vaughn, and she is waiting to face the boys high school winner. They will have a 2-game match to determine the overall scholarship winner. So excitement not even close to being through. Genova now up after the open frame in the 6th.
That was a little move left. That's what I wanted him to do. That was a nice shot.
So Genova stirs the partisan New Yorkers here, as Hattori steps up on this custom installation 1 bowling lane here at Vanderbilt Hall in Grand Central Terminal.
Strike here, still an even match. Good shot of the layout there. Jason Thomas doing some great camera work. Does that look like 2,000 on there, Jay?
That's what it probably started at. Starting to get a little shine from the lane.
You got the inside and the outside of the ball in the mind of Zack Hattori, putting it all in motion.
That is a great shot. Chased him more. You see the adjustments he went through in 3 frames there with that ball, and he's in the pocket.
Both players have done it, both choosing the opposite set of equipment, and both have pocket shots in the 6th. It is still all even. Genova needs it to force the roll-off. Here he is. No doubles yet here in game 2.
Nice to see he's loose. Great shot. Great shot. I love the angle change. He's feeding it to it more instead of trying to jam it into it. That's great. We got a match here, boys.
Game on. Folks starting to get behind Genova. On a strike, needs to double to even things up. We're in the 7th, game 2. You get that intermittent announcement every now and again.
Break, clean the glasses. You see fiddles with the glasses every frame. That's one of those kind of habits you get into, and if it doesn't do what's comfy, you know, it's almost like you dropping your rosin bag when you go through your pre-shot routine. You just
start all over.
Start it all over again.
Yeah, just like one of the New York Mets stepping out to readjust both your batting gloves in between pitches. Oh, rings at 10.
Pretty good shot, Doc.
Yeah, definitely was a good shot.
All right, no mental letdown here. Let's stay on it. Pick up the spare.
Game in that young gentleman's hand right now.
10-pin lead for Genova. Can double it if he turkeys. We are now in the 8th frame. Hattori wins. He repeats his title. If Genova wins, we'll have a 1-ball roll-off to decide the boys' high school champion.
Tell you what, this young man made a good aggressive move, smart move, and he's been in the pocket ever since. That was some shot. Well, guess what, Zack Hattori? Someone came to play.
And the roar goes up.
Young man has been very resilient this week.
You notice something too, Jay? He's slowed down. He's calmed down.
Yep.
That game one where he was rushing, taking his time, look at his demeanor now. You see in his eyes. His eyes aren't moving around. He's breathing slower. He's more comfortable. A couple strikes will do that to you, though. What frame are we in, Mike J?
We are in the bottom of the 8th. Hattori trails by 20.
One of his best shots there. Never even heard that ball hit the lane.
Yep. I tell you what, this is a great match. We are seeing a great match.
Genova fought back. He had bad ball reaction. Made the move to the Mission 2.0. Started drilling the pocket. And now he's got the crowd behind him. He's got 4 out of his last 5. And he's in the 9th frame of the lead.
Oh, no. Bad footwork there, Doc. Threw that one right across his body.
Yep.
Lucky to get 9.
There's your scoreboard. Going to give Zack a chance to throw a strike here.
On the single pin is Tommy Genova out of Elmont, New York. 153 through 8, spare in the 9th. Hattori can take it off the sheet for 204. And Genova is pacing at 193.
Zack strikes here. Mike J. This puts all the pressure back on Tommy.
Big shot. Might be the shot of the match right here. This could be the difference of a roll-off or winner-winner.
Hattori down 19, can cut it to 9 with a strike in the 9th frame.
Perfect. That young man there cannot be shut out now.
I was almost hoping he backed off on that one. I saw that last second where he opened his shoulders and he moved a little bit, and that's not in his normal routine to do that. And, man, I was saying back off, regroup. As soon as I saw that extra bounce to the right and open him up, because that is not in his normal routine. But
Genova enters the 10th frame, down a game, but he's up 9 pins here. If he can strike out, he'll get 203. Listen to that. Genova packs 10 in the 10th.
And this place is getting loud, Mike J.
One more strike here, Jason Couch, and he'll force a double out of Hattori in the 10th.
Take your time, make a good shot.
You totally see the difference in his posture and everything that he's doing now from the first game to the second game. He looks really comfortable right now. This will be a good one.
Crept up high.
Count. He really needs to make this.
Zack still will need the first strike. Genova will enter the 10th with a lead. 192 for Tommy Genova.
That means Zack Hattori must strike 9 spare to win by a pin.
It's a ball in hand for our defending champion. He can step up here at Vanderbilt Hall at Grand Central Station. He can strike in the 10th, go 9 spare, and repeat his title as Teen Masters Boys High School champion. Took a good long moment next to Mike Calveron and went through his process. And now let's see if he can make it happen in real time. You're watching it live on Extra Frame. That got outside, gentlemen. We're going to have a roll-off for the title.
I want him to back off again.
Took a long time.
He went to the glasses twice. He reset, went to the glasses twice. He got out of his routine.
You just saw that puff of air out of Tommy Genova. He's alive. We're going to have a roll-off for the boys' high school title. Important shot here remaining, Doc.
Yep.
Even though this game is done, Hattori's
shot.
got one more shot to kind of figure it out. Here's what he's got on his mind. I've got one more shot in this game. I've already lost game 2. I know it's a 1-1 match. I am the highest seed. I get to choose who goes first, and I got to figure out what I'm doing in the roll-off.
Get the confidence back here with a good shot off the hand. And then, in my opinion, I think you should start.
I agree.
That's the first one he wanted, but 180 for Hattori, but we will have a roll-off. Hattori goes first, or do we force Mr. Genova to the lanes?
I would let him sit and think about it for another shot, and I would get out there and I'd throw a strike and put all the heat on him.
I agree.
We will see the decision that Zack Hattori has for tournament director Kirk Von Kruger. Each player a sudden death roll-off away from the overall championship. The winner here will be the boys high school champion. Zack will go first in the roll-off.
See what happens, bowling doctor, when you join me on those picks?
Riding the couch train.
So here it is. Sudden death roll-off to decide the boys high school champion. The winner will also go on in the $64,000 Ebonite scholarship match with girls high school champion Rachel Vaughn. But first, we need a boys champion. Hattori to start the roll-off.
Smart move.
Nine for Hattori. Tommy Genova can win it with a strike, and listen to his supporters.
One shot for the boys championship and the right to bowl for $64,000 and your college tuition paid for.
Bowling doctor, I'm taking the next 20 seconds off, and we'll let the crowd tell you what happens. Genova, strike to win. Zack Hattori just repeated as boys high school champion of the 2011 Teen Masters. Here we go, sending it down to Jackie Bowling with the Powerhouse Championship update.
Zachary Hattori, I know your mom and dad are watching right now on Extra Frame. You just bought your ticket into the final match to bowl for $64,000 in scholarship money. Tell us what you're thinking right now.
I don't even know what I'm thinking. I'm just so happy. I mean, I think out of all the tournaments to repeat, this is the one that I wanted to repeat. And it just means a lot to me. And thanks, parents. If it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't be out here. So I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. Thanks for everything.
Well, congratulations and good luck to you next match, Zach.
Thank you.
This is your Powerhouse Report. Back to you guys.
Zack Hattori has repeated as boys high school division champion and will go on to face Rachel Vaughn next, live on Extra Frame in the $64,000 matchup. Man, Tommy Genova would love to have that opportunity again.
Absolutely. You know what? He bowled a good match. You know, played the lane, made an adjustment. You know, what can you say about being in that position for all that on the line? That's tough. Great week, great tournament. He had the opportunity. He'll be thinking about it for a while, but I'm sure we'll see him again because he throws it really good.
What an amazing way to close out our 2 championship matches. But wait, we're not done. An overall grand championship match is coming up next, and we invite you to stick around and watch it with us live on Extra Frame. That's going to come up at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be on live at 6:45 for warm-up as Rachel Vaughn, girls high school teen master champion, will face Zack Hattori for a $64,000 Ebonite scholarship, and you're going to watch it next on Extra Frame. Big thanks to producer Jason Thomas, the powerhouse Jackie Bowling, the bowling doctor Jeff Marks sitting in the most important chair in bowling.
Because it's mine, Mike J.
And PBA Tour champ Jason Couch. We appreciate you being here, and we look forward to having everyone back with Ron Hicklin for the big pregame show and the big scholarship match coming up next. Don't miss it, live on Extra Frame. We'll see you back at Grand Central Terminal in about an hour.